Hey, what's going on, everybody? So, tonight on Friday Night Live, I am going solo like Justin Timberlake did. And yeah, but the difference is, we'll come back together and, we'll do the reunion tour next week. But today we're talking about short form content. And so I have a lot of experience with short form myself. Joy, what's going on? Big shout out to Joy Nicholson, absolutely incredible human being who is actually speaking at James Johnson's event, masterclass in regards to, I believe it's Avatar. Very exciting. And I'm excited to see your presentation. I think it's going to be incredible. So today we're talking short form, and we are doing a challenge, an internal challenge inside of our group, which is visibility hacking content for connection. And we are trying to produce short form content, get a process that works, get it out the door, and get that valuable feedback, right? That's the key, is that if we don't get that feedback, then we're going to stop doing it, really, because if you don't get that feedback, then you may just think, oh, I suck, which is just not the case. We just need a second to get some feedback on it, right? So if you don't get that feedback, you're just going to keep on kind of ramming your head into the wall, And the problem comes in so we have to reach out. We have to put things into the world. We have to put things into the ether. I talk about it frequently on this show, to where I say, what would you say to me, right? Situation, right? Fantasyland situation. So what would you say to me if I had a blank canvas behind me and I was like, listen, this thing is going to be sick. It's going to be like a dragon, like wearing the Michael Jackson jacket, doing the moonwalk next to He-Man, and also there's like Batman's there, and there's lightning and like flames and stuff. It's going to be sick. What do you think? But you're just looking at a blank canvas. You would probably say to me, that sounds ridiculous. You might want to balance out your meds. And also, you let me know when you're done with it, and I'll give you some feedback. Interesting, right? It's the same thing with our content. We can't give feedback to something that doesn't exist. So we have to put it out into the ether, which can be scary, can be very scary. And we have to wait to get that valuable feedback. So how can we get things out quick, right? So I don't know that this is where Molly left off last time, but this is where we're going, kids, all right? So how can we get out some short form content really, really fast? So I've been experimenting lately with ChatGPT, okay? And ChatGPT is by no means a solution to all your problems. Feed it and get out gold. No. But it allows you to not have to start with that blank canvas, which is really helpful. And it kind of just does away. What's going on, Q? What's going on, man? If you guys haven't checked out Q reviews on YouTube, you need to do that stat, because his content is just, it's amazing. Truly, truly amazing. He talks about film, pop culture, music. I mean, you name it. And he does amazing skits, and his like production value is insane. So anyway, how can we use ChatGPT, which is the topic of the hour right now, right? Everyone's talking about ChatGPT and like AI, and Terminator's here, and everyone's gonna die, and the robots are gonna take over. But in the meantime, before the robots take over, ChatGPT is pretty freaking cool. And so the problem with ChatGPT is that it is so impressive, and so is like DaVinci and some of the other image creation AIs. And there's also more, like Alex Hormozy put out a video recently, and I can link that in the comments afterwards. But he said to each department in his business, he said, I'm going to give you 1 week. I want you to replace yourself with AI. What would you do if someone came up to you in your job, it was your boss, and they were like, you have 1 week. I want you to implement as much AI into your position as possible. A little scary. I'd be a little freaked out. I'd be like, oh, I'm not going to give them the really good stuff. I'm going to give them the lame AI, the little I. But that's what they did. And they implemented, I think it was 8 different AIs across sales, marketing, recruiting, all across all of their different departments. And he's like, it's going to be a tremendous savings for us. Just one of them, just one AI got them back 40% of their time. And the AI was for it takes your calendar and all those gaps in your calendar between meetings. It reduces, it takes away all those gaps. So you just cram all your meetings into a segment of time, and then it leaves your schedule open for the remainder of the time. So it's reaching out to people and trying to find like, oh, does this slot match up with this slot? Okay, cool. We can move both those up. And it's incredible. It's incredible what AI can do, but it's not the solution. It needs to be augmented with us, with creativity, with our minds still. Will there be a time when it's not necessary and we just kind of like what was that movie with the cartoon characters where all of them are just like in the future and all of them are sitting in their seats and just like being fed massive Slurpees and stuff because they don't have anything to do. I can't remember the name of that movie. It might have been Wall-E, I'm not sure. But you know, it's kind of the writing on the wall. But for now, it's not there yet. So we need to help it along. So prompting, which means asking the question to the AI, has to get better. Wall-E, Nicholas, thank you so much, Nicholas. And another one, Nicholas is absolutely incredible. Please check out all of his socials if you can. But so when we utilize ChatGPT, it's incredibly powerful. Okay. So I'm going to give you an example. Right, meow. Pull up my trusty ChatGPT. But it just needs a little bit of human influence to kind of bring it into the realm of usefulness. Because at its current stance, it's just not there. It's close, but it's not there. So we'll pull up ChatGPT here. Cool. Got myself share screen here. Select window or screen. New chat. There we go. Got it. All right, cool. So, Jim, I have a bunch of short videos I want to make for my business that are targeted to my people. What do I do? So we have a good amount of people on here. I would love to tailor this to one of you, whoever speaks up first. I want 5 things that you would like to discuss this month that are about you and your business and something you could help another individual out with in your business. So I'll give you an example. One of my clients recently gave me 5 things, and I remember about 3 of them, to be honest with you. But they were essentially based around e-commerce. Okay, so it's talking about how to get better ROAS with e-commerce, how to measure the success of content creation in e-com, how to pick the best products in e-com. So these are things that he wants to be associated with, right? So that's what I'm looking for from you guys. I need at least 2 or 3 of these so I can play with it here. And then, of course, you guys will be able to reap the benefits of that research. So I'll wait just a moment. In the meantime, I am going to find my prior one. Here we go. Beauteous. So prompting is super important with all of this stuff. So you only get out the quality of data as the quality of the prompt. And when I say prompt, I mean the question or the thing you ask it to do. If you ask it a crappy question, it's going to give you crappy data. And the other thing to consider with this is that it will deliver you, in some cases, bad data, but with confidence. So you need to fact check. So if it tells you like this is the way it is, just check it real quick. Give it a quick little skim just to make sure that it's giving you back good data, because it's scouring the internet. The internet doesn't always have things that are true. And it's aggregating all those things and it's saying, this is what the collective internet thinks of this particular thing. This is what we think is the best result for your prompt or your request. So sometimes there's crappy data. So you just got to be careful. It's not one of those things to where I input this and just spit out gold and I just use that. And it needs us still. Okay. So no one's speaking up, huh? No one wants to help. You guys are all good. You already got your short form content out in the world and it's already producing leads. All right. I see you. It's fine. It's fine. So this is the prompt style I actually like to use for generating titles for short form content. So you can take that if you like and use it as you please. So I like Reels more so than TikTok. I found that if I put in Reels, that it will also work on TikTok and stories. If I put in TikTok, it ends up being a little more loud than is necessary, I think. Let's see. I'm driving, brother. Otherwise, I would have spoke up. No worries, Darren West. I'm sure you got on a badass hat. Tell me what kind of hat you got on right now. Guys got the coolest hats around. Let's see. So the format of this goes as such. Write 10 titles for Instagram Reels using the theme. So you want a theme. And then you also want the topic. So what's the theme? So maybe the theme of this month will be getting started. So let's do, I'll just keep on using ecom, I guess, with the theme of how to get started with e-commerce and grow your brand and create a brand. So we're not growing it because it doesn't exist yet. And create a brand profitably. And the topic of, so now this is where we kind of go one tier lower, right? So the topic underneath the theme, let's see what topic we want to cover. It's how to pick our product, right? Topic of how to pick a great product to sell. Okay. So this is the format. Let's see what we get. Isn't this amazing? Like, this is where it can get you, is that you go, that's incredible. But then you read them. So here, I'll make it bigger so you guys can all read that. So these are the 10 that it just spit out for me. I now have found that I need to be iterative. What do I mean by iterative? What I mean is that I'm not going to just call this done. I'm probably going to ask subsequent questions and get a better result. Okay. So let's see. Lefty's asking for an invite. My man, Lefty. Give me one moment. Leftetus. I'll get you on here, Bon. There you go, good sir. And if any of you guys want to join me on here, just let me know. I will post the link for you guys to join me. He says Volcom hat. Yeah, old school Volcom. I love Volcom. So the result that this prompt has given us is this. Okay, so these are the titles it thinks that fit with that theme, that brand, and that platform. Okay, so let's read them. Let's check them out. Let's see what you guys think. Would these get your attention? Because I'm assuming not all of them will. 5 steps to start your own e-commerce business today. Finding your niche, how to choose the right product to sell from idea to reality. I like that. Tips for, create your brand's online presence. Maximizing profits. Tips for pricing your product strategically. Growing your audience, effective marketing strategies for e-commerce fulfillment made easy, streamlining your shipping and handling processes. That's a good one. Building trust, how to establish credibility and brand loyalty. And selling on social, leveraging Instagram for e-commerce success. So it's pulling Instagram from the fact that we said it was for Instagram Reels. Let's see, you're scaling your business strategies for expanding your product line and reach sustainable e-commerce, balancing profitability and environmental responsibility. I like that. So there's a couple in here that I may want to rewrite. 5 steps to start your e-commerce business today is a little boring. Who likes that title? Who would click on that title? Raise your hand. I'd like to see if someone likes that one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select that and say rewrite this title. I'm going to parens that to be more edgy and exciting. Oh, I put an F after exciting. That's no good. Let's see. Rev up your business engine. 5 turbocharged steps to launch your e-commerce empire today. A little better. Okay, a little better. So prompting and iterative prompting, meaning it's not one and done necessarily. It can get better. I don't personally like the rev your business engine. I think it's a little cheesy, but I could see how someone might want to click on that, especially if you're in the car market or the third party, car parts kind of market. I think that they might dig that. I don't personally dig it. Give a different title for, I'm going to plug it back in, that doesn't have to do with engines. From dream to reality, 5 proven steps to launch your profitable e-commerce venture today. Is there any other 5 steps here? I thought that sounded familiar from something else. But not bad. Dream to reality, you could have a cool image with that. So, the dream versus reality, you could have a really cool, either space or dreamy kind of thing going on. It'd make a really cool thumbnail. And I think that it could make a good video. 5 proven steps to launch your profitable e-commerce venture today. So you could talk about what it's like to have the dream and not take action, and what's stopping most people from taking action. So maybe that would be the angle I personally would like to take. I think that's more interesting, is what's stopping most people, because most people don't open up an e-com store. What separates them from the people that do? And maybe it's just that they just dream. Everyone's got ideas. Ideas aren't worth anything. Everyone's got an idea. But implementation and action, now that's valuable. So what separates the dreamers from the doers? What's that in between? I think that could make a really interesting short form video. So I would probably rewrite this to be more in line with that. So rewrite this title to be about what separates the dreamers and the doers when it comes to a successful e-com business. That's pretty good. So, Leftetis, welcome to the Pate.
Hello.
We got a little title. Jim, when you say short form, are you talking about Reels, YouTube Shorts, Instagram, that kind of stuff? Yes, I am. So TikTok, Reels, and Stories in particular, or YouTube Shorts, excuse me. Is it Shorts or Stories? I think it's Shorts. Lefty?
Sorry, I'm trying to read what's on ChatGPT because I'm on my phone, so my screen is very, very tiny right now.
You're not in your bathroom right now, are you?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh
No,
my
no.
goodness.
I'm in my cousin's room. It's the quietest room in the house. So
All right, fair enough, fair enough. So what we landed on, beyond dreaming, the 5 key steps that turn aspiring entrepreneurs into successful e-commerce trailblazers. It's pretty killer. I might shorten it a little, but I like that. I think it's pretty good. Lefty, what do you think, my friend?
yeah, when it comes to your titles, you definitely want to keep it to roughly 60 characters or less. That's kind of like the easiest way to, I guess, register the title, right? Because the less words, the better, which means you are like dumbing it down to the best of your abilities, and you're just getting right to the point. You're giving all just the bells and whistles right from the title.
Mm-hmm. So it took that, and I said, literally, make this title 70 characters less. So I gave it an extra 10 characters just to be generous,
Yeah.
because I'm a giver. Okay. So 5 steps to turn dreams into e-commerce success. Trailblazing tips.
Amazing. Look at
There you go.
that.
So where most people are failing with this is they go, okay, that's it. And they end. That's it. So what I'm saying and what I want to encourage you to do is to be iterative. Is to say, I'm not done yet. I think it could be better. I'm not done yet. I think it could be better. And we boil it down to its most impactful, simplest form. And now we've got something that we can go out and we can create. So
Yeah.
now what you do in my experience, and I would love to hear Lefty's idea on this as well, because he actually works with clients with short form content. And he does this with many, many clients right now. So I'm really excited to hear what you're doing as your process for this. But the way I do it with our clients is that we will have them take these titles. They'll write 3 bullet points of things that they'd like to cover underneath that title, just as a reminder, just a little guide, a little GPS along their way, right? And they do that for up to 50 of these titles.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get on a call together, and for 1 hour, we just beat the brakes off this thing. Start the call, make sure that the camera looks good, sound is good, lighting's good, that they're positioned appropriately, and we do remote direction to where I kind of talk them through that process. But you can do this yourself. You can have up, your screen, make it nice and big so that you can see what your bullet points are, and just beat them down. Play it back if you need to, and do another version. They're short form. So the idea is keep it under a minute.
Yeah.
And in most cases, from what we've heard from Lefty on the show here, he says way less than that. Way less than that. I believe you said that you were going to try a 6-second video, like Vine style.
Oh yeah.
How'd it
They
go?
worked.
They worked.
They
Awesome.
worked.
So the shorter, the better. But make sure that you're giving impact. It's not just e-com's awesome and I can help you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because then it's like, well, what's the benefit to me? I don't even know you. Like, tell me little something. So you want to take as long as it takes to be effective and to give a benefit that your ideal client would go, ooh, me, that's me. I
Yeah.
feel that. I need that. Cool. Or that resonates with me. You understand me. That's a problem I have right now. Like, that's what you want. You don't just want, hey, I'm still here. Don't have much to say, but I'm here.
Yeah.
Because they're just next. So I would love to hear from Lefty. What does your process look like? Because you have been incredibly successful with this.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I really kind of do the same thing, like it's just get the bullet points in there, and then obviously like we don't want to just leave it at bullet points, right? So like I want to go and like I script all the short form content. Like Even with AI at my fingertips, I don't touch it, just because I feel like it lacks that emotional intelligence. and and even if you like, I mean, I've tested it, believe me, I've tried. I've gone into Chat GPT, and I asked it to write whatever it is that I wanted to write out, and then I said, write this with human emotion. And it's good, but it still writes it like a computer, because what ChatGPT lacks, and I feel like what it's going to lack for a very long time, no matter how close they get, is relatability. ChatGPT doesn't know what we've gone through.
Mhm.
AI doesn't know what we've gone through. Like, if I turned around, and I'm just gonna use like the dumbest example right now, but if Jim ends up opening up a video mine, and I'm like, "Hey guys, what's up? I'm a video marketer. I was on a shoot one day and I tripped and fell. My camera broke, but that led me to creating a multi-million-dollar videography business." Jim's gonna be like, "Holy shit, I remember when I fell and scraped my knee too." These are like the little tiny things that ChatGPT cannot give you. So, what I do is I start the process the exact same way. Give them the hooks. Give them. I actually created a 100 piece of content hooks, where you're going to post one piece of content for 100 days. Now, you can choose however you want to do it. You want to do it 7 days a week. You want to exclude weekends and just do 5 days a week. Great. That's completely up to you. I personally exclude weekends because, heck, who the hell wants to be bothered on a Saturday or a Sunday? But once the hooks are in, once they're ready, we do bullet points. If they do not require bullet points, and you can actually give me some juice, some information, even better. Then we get back into, I guess, Jim, you mentioned this too. You go back to the drawing board with them on Zoom, and you write it out. And the best thing is that no matter who you hire, there's no like there's no really right or wrong person, right? Like, Jim has his writing techniques, I have my writing techniques. So I think what stems down is, what do you feel like, even though you're coming to the experts, how do you want your brand to be represented? How do you want your content to be written based on two similar creators that have different writing styles and writing techniques, right? So these are questions that you got to ask yourself prior to just jumping in because Buddy gave you the best price, or Buddy gave you the additional value pack that you weren't going to get with company B, for example, right? So think about your show up and how you want to show up first. Then you have to make the right decision afterwards to hire the right professional to get that job done for you.
Mhm.
Because there's things that, for example, Jim can do that I can't do, and vice versa. And there's things that both Jim and I can't do that
It's the
someone
head
else
pat and
can.
the circle thing. I can do this all day long.
I mean, I'm holding my phone right now, so maybe I can just do. Wait, hold on. Can I just start
Right.
here, go here, start here, go?
That's what I got on lefty, folks. That's what I
Yeah.
got.
So that's it.
But
That's it. Really.
yes, and different people can give you different world experience. But what's interesting, just real quick, we're not going to do a deep dive on AI tonight. I want to get back to getting you your short form content out. Just get something into the world that they can give you feedback on, right?
Mm-hmm.
But isn't this interesting?
Someone with a hacker spirit can earn over 300K for a new kind of job centered around ChatGPT like assistants.
So a chat GPT prompt, they're calling them prompting engineers and librarians. 300K a year for someone that knows what they're doing. Just I thought that blew my freaking mind. So, but getting back to the heart of this is how can we get out short form content as quickly as possible? Hopefully, before we even get in our head about it, of what the usual crap is, right? Oh,
Yeah.
someone's gonna judge me. They're gonna think I'm too this. They're gonna think I'm not enough this. I'm gonna wait till I do this, or I'm gonna wait until that. Instead of that, James, what's going on, man? So James has got a masterclass out right now that Joy actually is speaking on. I am speaking on. Lefty is speaking on, and it's going to be really exciting. So you guys check that
Yes.
if you get a chance. But so you want to get it out quick enough to where you don't think about it much, and you say, "Oh, that's easier said than done." Yeah, it is. It takes practice. It takes that constant process of doing this to get to the point where you go, oh, that one hit and that one got a big fat 0. Cool. I'm going to focus more on this one instead of, oh, this one got a 0. Everyone hates me and I should quit.
Like most people do, right?
Like most people do. So when you can get to that point of, oh, that one hit and that didn't, and that's okay because this is giving me data. This is giving me valuable information. This one got 4 likes, this one got 0. This one got 2 comments, this one got 0. So instead of beating yourself up over the 0, you focus on what's working and throw away the rest. Because eventually now you're going to start getting, this one got 50, this one got 5, and now you're throwing away the 5. Or you're tweaking it, trying to make it more like the 50, or using things that you've learned from the 50 to make the 5 even better.
And also take into consideration that if you are getting like big fat 0s all the time, or if you're getting big fat 5s all the time, it very well could not be your content in terms of presentation, because you could very well be putting out some killer stuff. I think you would, at that point, you have to broaden up a little bit. Maybe you niche down too much to the point where the algorithm literally has nowhere to place you, because like Instagram's going to look at your content and be like, oh shit, there's a whole 100 people that actually care about this. Like, so it becomes very, very tough when you're too specific. And it's funny to say that, because we are in a world where it's like niching down is everything. But the one thing that benefits me when I put out my YouTube content, for example, and I know that's long form and has nothing to do with short form, but I'm still able to make short form videos out of the YouTube, is that I bring in pop culture and how pop culture can relate to your business. So now I'm niche because I'm speaking to business owners, but I'm also speaking to the people that might be Netflix binge watchers. I'm opening up my content to, I don't know, Star Wars fans or movie buffs or wrestling fans or whatever the case might be. So you want to be able to stick to what it is that you're talking about, but understand that, people that you are speaking to, they're not robots. They have hobbies and interests, right? That 40-year-old, like 7-figure coach is probably taking his 10-year-old kid to like Monday Night Raw or SmackDown or WrestleMania. Like, understand where these people are coming from. I go to the sales ninja's home to film, but if he doesn't broadcast it, you wouldn't know that he's like an absolute nerd for Star Wars and he has all these figurines. You know what I mean? So when you're creating content, also tap into the hobbies and interests of the person that you're talking or that you want to talk to, and you're going to get like so far ahead of the game instead of just being like the fact and figure guy. Because like, let's face it, nobody likes the fact and figure guy.
It's true. And noticeably absent from what you said is This is what everyone should do, which I appreciate. So Lefty knows these things. Why? Because he's put content out into the world, and world said, we love this, we hate that, or don't care, we dig this. And then he keeps just refining. Were you that clear on your content in the beginning?
No. Oh my God, no. Like, coming into because remember, I come from the film industry, right? So
Mhm.
I already,
Which means he has intense ADHD and shiny object syndrome.
right? Yeah.
I know for a fact. I came
You're
from that
you're
world too.
you're not wrong there. But I would say like the only thing when I first started out was um I had the advantage that I was able to create, more polished content, right? Um, more polished scripts, more polished color grading and understanding like colors and all that jazz. But I had absolute zero clue as to what I was doing. I was just like, oh, okay, man, I'm gonna, shoot this brand commercial today, and then I'm gonna shoot that, and then I'm gonna talk about this. And like, I was all over the map. I had like no clue as to what I was doing until probably like early last year when I just kind of like said, all right, I have to start talking to one specific type of person. And even when I did start talking to that one specific type of person, I still didn't get it 100% right. Like, even a year later, I'm still not getting it 100% right, But the one thing that I've allowed myself to do is not be the fact and figure guy. Like Jim knows, I've shared a lot of videos with him in the last couple weeks that showcase and shine more of my creativity and my personality and how I am as like a comedian script writer, right? So these are things, and at the same time too, I want the clients or the prospects that are going to be potential clients to also be like, oh, this guy has a personality. Like I want to work with him because he's just a cool guy, you
Mm.
know. Who cares at this point if he can 5x, 10x, 20x my business? He's just a fucking dope individual, right? And there's nothing wrong with you guys doing that in your own businesses either, because when you're not afraid to just be you and just show up and do something different, you're going to automatically stand out from the crowd, whether it's in short form, long form, medium form, billboard size. Like, just show us who you are, because I can guarantee you, if you were to scroll through your Facebook feed right now or your Instagram feed, the first 25 creators are spitting the same exact junk at you, and they're not showcasing any characteristics of who they are as a person.
Mm-hmm. No, that's a good call. And so, in regards to that, James brought up the fact that he did a post recently that got a lot of attention
Mm-hmm.
because it was a little risque. It was a potato that looked like male genitalia. Okay.
Yes, I love that pose.
Yeah, but he said, I got, what do you say? Only 2 people raised their hand for the free course. So, what is that telling you? What's the data we can glean from that? The data is people wanted to talk about it. They wanted to like it. It was enjoyable. It was funny, but it didn't, once they had that attention, they didn't keep it and they didn't have a strong enough CTA or a next step, or it was just too different. One to the other, that's like a massive gap in trying to lead someone across the bridge, right? From
Right.
potato genitalia to join my free class. And even there's one comment on his Facebook that says hunting for those views. And you got the views. Mission accomplished. Like you got the attention.
Right.
But it wasn't targeted attention. It was
Yeah.
just attention for attention's sake. So now, but we couldn't have known that unless you put it out in the world.
Yeah.
So now you know your audience thinks it's funny, it's entertaining, but they don't relate it to you and wanting to learn something.
Yeah, yeah. That's something that I spoke about a lot in my last two YouTube videos. And I think I put it up in a few of my shorts too recently, where relatability, not in terms of relatability of like, has this person had a similar experience to me, but relatability to what you're trying to achieve from that post, right?
Mhm.
I feel like if there was something more about the potato that had relevance to the course, like, I don't know, it's a potato, it's male genitalia, throwing it out there. If it was
I mean,
catered,
it's funny even just saying it out loud again.
yeah, it's
But
hilarious.
it doesn't make me want to go any further than that. It's very face value, very like next.
Yeah, like I mean, if it was a course about like, I don't know, like there's coaches out there that are like helping middle-aged men do whatever, right? Like if that was the case, then that photo is relatable to the target audience.
I have a perfect example. You ever heard of the company Ad Zombies?
Yeah, they're awesome.
I love the owner. I've met him numerous times at events. Great guy, and Ken Moskowitz. And so one of the things that he's great at is getting attention with these kind of images, but then also getting someone to take action. And I'll give you an example. One of his best all-time performing posts was a picture of a muffin.
Okay. Do you have
And
it?
I will try and find it. He was running an ad, so I don't know if it's still available, but I will find it. I'll post it in the comments if I can find it.
Okay.
It's just a beautiful, well lit, super clear picture of a muffin.
Mm.
And it was for your New Year's resolution. Uh, what was it? Trim the muffin top or something along those lines.
Yeah, yeah.
It was brilliant. And it just lit up.
Of course.
It had several hundred comments. People like, oh my God, so clever. And it was something that just got huge. So it used that image. Oh, that's interesting. And then the text is what made it like the clincher. It was like, oh,
Yeah.
it's a weight loss thing.
Yeah.
Get my muffin top handled or whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it was brilliant. But that's what made it brilliant was the two together. And so it's really tough, and especially in that market, in the workout, health, and wellness market, to run ads.
Of
Because you
course.
can't make promises, you can't show abs, you can't show before and afters. There's a lot of regulation around that, and for good reason. So his muffin picture killed it,
Yeah.
just killed it. But it uses what was interesting about the genitalia potato. And what was missing was that other part that gave it something more, a bigger concept, a bigger idea, or something that you could then help them with. And then the idea was we can make this strong of an ad for you. Is killer.
Yeah.
Killer job. Everything was in alignment. The text, the image, the CTA, everything made sense.
Mm-hmm.
So in this case, I feel like it just didn't land. It didn't coincide with something that would come next. It didn't come with anything aspirational. Like the muffin top, everyone knows what that means. And then New Year's resolutions, inevitably, it's got to be in the 90th percentile. Everyone
Yeah.
says, oh, I'm going to lose X amount of pounds this year. This is my year.
Yeah.
So it played perfectly to all of those. So I think that you need to kind of revisit the drawing board when you use imagery like that to make sure that it still is
I,
having that impact.
I mean, I think for what it was very well put together, right? Um, and I give so much credit to it too, because if you think about it, we we left the corporate 9 to 5, the that like prim and proper lifestyle, like, oh my god, my boss is around the corner, I gotta walk on eggshells. We left that life so we can have freedom of expression, so we as the individual could be the brand behind our business. Yet what everyone's doing with their content is still bringing that like 9 to 5. I'm scared shitless of my boss and I have to tiptoe around what I'm doing. I think what needs to start happening is everybody's got to kind of, take the pickle out and just start being more expressive, start being more you. Like, I don't want to have to get on a discovery call or just like a networking call to be like, oh, this guy actually has a sense of humor, or oh, this this girl like actually loves like lightsabers as much as I do, right? Why do I have to take it that far before you can before I find out who you are as a person? Like, start expressing that. Like, again, we left the corporate 9 to 5 so we can have that freedom, yet you're not using that freedom because of what? You're afraid of some 7, 8, 9, 10 figure coach who still acts prim and proper, which, let's face it, they probably don't behind closed doors. Like, is that who you're afraid of, or are you afraid of somebody who is maybe doing a bit better than you or on the same playing field as you? You think that person's going to judge you for trying, for doing something different? If anything, they're going to be kicking themselves in the ass that they didn't think about it first. So that's where I want to leave that point on.
Well said. Absolutely. And I think that we're twofold right now. And we talk about this all the time on the show, but I'll reiterate it quickly, is that we're in the age of attention and authenticity. So you need to get attention. You got to wade through all the crap and the noise and everyone's screaming over each other. Hey, 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 buy this, buy this, buy this. And you have to make it through all that in an effective way. But at the same time, you have to be unabashedly, completely, genuinely you.
Yeah.
And, like Steve Larson talks about this. He goes, I'm always Steve, but I turn Steve up in volume. It's still Steve. It's just turned up.
Yeah.
A little more energy, a little louder, a little more just entertainment value. And when I say entertainment value, I don't mean anything like da, 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 da. No, you don't have to go that way. But like, just to turn it up the volume is the best way I can describe it. So he talks about there's a difference between Steve and Steven. So he has an alternate persona, right? But that alternate persona is not someone that is detached from him. It's just a turned up personality.
Fun fact, I'm exactly the same way on camera as I am off camera.
Good for you, Lefty.
I've always just been loud and obnoxious. I mean, first of all, let's just blame it on the fact that I'm Greek, and what Greek isn't loud and obnoxious. Okay. but after on top of that, it's always been my personality. It's always been my personality to just be the loudest person in the room. Like, I've embarrassed people for how loud I am sometimes. Like, if we're in like a public setting, like, it can get bad. because I'm always just having a good time. I'm always energetic. I'm always excited. I'm always like, we've got to do this and do that, and you know.
See,
So
me, I was the introvert that forced myself to be able to turn on extrovert. It's like a light switch. I have
yeah,
to get in that mode. I have to get there, and then I can crank it out. I can turn it on. But when this stuff's not on, it's much more chill. And I enjoy my alone time. I enjoy one-on-one time.
sure,
But I have grown to like this too, the one-to-many format, speaking, all that kind of stuff. I like it now. But if you had told a decade ago, Jim, that that was something, he would have been like, "You're out of your mind." No, that's
yeah,
crazy. But now it's something that I've incorporated into my daily life.
absolutely, absolutely. Well, I mean, I want to say about 10 to 15 years of practice as well,
Mhm.
coming from the entertainment industry too, right? So finding your character, finding your persona, finding that person that's you but not you. You're playing, like, you got to think about it, like when you start hitting the record button and getting out there in front of the world, you are acting, like, you are playing a character, you are playing a role. So you got to kind of look at it that way, as I'm seeing Jim, but I'm seeing acting Jim. I'm not seeing Jim for Jim. I'm not really, I mean, you might be seeing Lefty for Lefty, but um, but
One to
at the
one.
same but at the same time, not everybody is like that, and that's completely okay. Like, you don't have to be like 150% every single time.
Mhm.
I like no one would ever even ask anybody of that. But I think when you turn on the camera and you turn on the lights, if you can understand that when the record button goes on, that you're playing a role,
Mhm.
you're gonna see like 100x improvement in your content.
What's interesting about that is I want to make sure I add a caveat to that. You don't necessarily know where to dial the volume until the market gives you some feedback.
That's true too.
So, like, if I was constantly at a 9, like just frantic, just like out of control, everyone would be like, it makes me uneasy to watch it. So I know I need to bring it down to more like a 7, 6.5. And then my off of camera is probably more like a 4.
Yeah.
But like, can you imagine if I was always at a 9 or even at like a full blown 10?
I'd
Just
be like,
hey,
Jim,
everybody! Like,
just send me your guy. Like, what are you taking? I want some.
yeah, right. Like it'd just be too much. It would be too
Right.
much, and especially for my personality type, it's too much. So like,
Yeah.
I'm sarcastic, I'm goofy, I make bad jokes that don't make people laugh, but they give me like a sympathy smile.
Yeah.
So like, that's me.
Yeah.
So I can turn that up a little bit. But if I crank that, people would be like, "Oh my god, I gotta go."
Yeah. And you have to find like a good balance, right? Like, coming from a guy who's, I guess, always been the chubby kid. Believe me, I understand the terminology. The
I'm
camera
right
adds
there
10
with you. I've earned
pounds.
my shape.
Okay. The camera adds 10 pounds. Okay. That is not a lie. But the way it adds 10 pounds in terms of how you look, it also decreases your energy level. So if you are, let's say, a 5 and you're trying to record, it's going to look like a freaking 3 when you're done that video. And it's going to
That's it.
show. So if you want to be a 5, you have to bring it to a 7,
Mhm.
right? If you want to be a 7, you have to bring it to a 9, because that's how the camera, that's how these lenses and these sensors and everything, that's how they respond to movement and action, right? So you don't want to be dull in your movements, your actions, your body language, your tonality. You want to just give it, right? Because it looks better when you're it looks better when you're filming.
Mhm. Exactly right. And it's something you gotta kind of find. It's a
Yeah.
searching kind of thing. So maybe on one video you deliver in 3 different kind of levels, right, of energy.
Yeah.
And you, before you even make it public, you'll know like, oh, actually that delivery feels really good on the recording. I think
Mhm.
that was kind of at this energy level. Maybe I'll stay there for a while because that
Yeah.
actually feels really good on the recording. Like watching it, it feels interesting. I'm engaged and it doesn't feel obnoxious.
Right.
It doesn't
Right.
feel like you're just being loud to be loud,
You're not
right?
being a lefty.
Yeah, yeah. It's a-
Yeah. No, and you know
Lefty,
what?
your energy is magical.
Huh?
Probably.
What did you say?
I said your energy is magical.
Oh, it's unicorn status.
But James did ask a question earlier, and James, I
What's
plugged
that?
in your question into
Oh,
Chat GPT. 52 Facebook post ideas for parents trying to get traffic to their offers or Facebook groups. So
wonderful.
I didn't change. I would probably reiterate this a couple times to get better results. But
Yeah.
if you play back the recording, you can see all this. And mind you, Chat GPT is free for now.
Yeah.
It won't be very soon, but it is
Well,
for
they
now.
do have a paid
There
version.
is a pro version, but right now they're just trying to get eyeballs and get talked about. So for the moment, they're still free. So use it while you can.
Yeah, just if like for those that are going to be using Chat GPT to write your content and get things out there, just don't take what you ask it at face value. Like go a little deeper. Keep like
You got to
I
iterate. You
I,
gotta add your influence on it. Your lefty on it. You add your Jim on it. You had to add your
yeah.
James onto it. You got to put your thing to it, because
Before I
otherwise
even
it's kind of vanilla.
yeah. Like before I even hit the copy button, it's like I probably ask it a solid 6, 7, sometimes even 10 prompts. Like I go deep, and even as deep as I go, that's still not good enough. I still have to take it and revamp it myself. So like someone who's just going to be like, oh, write me an Instagram post on how to make 6 figures in 90 days. It's
Do
like,
not just take that, copy and paste it. Please don't
but
do
a
that.
lot of people do. A lot of people do, and it's
Don't do it.
and you can see it. You can see it, and it's really fun. And you know what? It was actually really funny. Okay, I'm going to give a real world example. My friend's a principal. Okay,
Mhm.
he's a principal part time because he's still head of the science department at his school. And I asked him, I go, dude, how are you how are you guys gonna get around the Chat GPT problem? Because it's obviously available to teenagers, right? So I said, how are you gonna get around that? How are you gonna start figuring out plagiarism and this and this and that and that? Now, what I'm about to say, he said it in kind of a harsh way, but I want to say it just for reiteration purposes. He said, Lefty, if I had a kid in my class who was an absolute moron and then he turned in a perfect paper, I'm gonna know he didn't write that paper, right? So it's almost like I guess what I'm trying to get at in terms of like making this relatable is for those of you that want to use AI, make sure that your copy skills are good enough first on its own, because we're going to tell, like, us as the professionals are going to tell that you were the moron in the class, essentially. Like, I don't think you're a moron. I'm just using the words that were given to me, right? So
Yeah.
it's like we're going to know that, if you're getting D's across the board and you hand us something that's an A plus, we're going to know that that work didn't come from you. So at least make sure that you're at like a C plus to a B minus if you want to just build a business off of Chat GPT. Um,
I would never build a business that's
well,
Chat
content,
GPT
content.
run and energized by. I like what I personally use it for is so you're not starting with a blank canvas, a blank page. It gives you a first step of what will be a long walk. So it just
Yeah.
gives you somewhere to start. It
Yes.
gives you good frameworks. It gives you good bullet points. If you're writing a presentation, it'll give you cool bullet points to follow along to keep you on track. It's great for a lot of things, but it's not great to just like set it and forget it. It's
No,
just not.
no.
It is not the way it works, and it's good to show. Just
Yeah.
like with the AI imagery, it has a look. You
Oh
can
my God,
tell
those images are
it's got a
hilarious.
distinct look to it. You may not think so, but look at enough of them in a row. There's a look. It's going to be the same way with copy.
With the eyeballs that are everywhere that are like different.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite. But hey, you brought something up. You were talking about it, I think, just as I was popping in. You were talking about call to actions.
Mhm.
Now, I'm going to tell you, I don't know if you've been following a lot of like what I've been posting, but I actually started a 100-day free masterclass on video sales letters that I'm using as short form content. So I think we've posted up to day 7 or 8 currently right now. And what you will notice, and you're probably going to be like, huh? I have yet to use a call to action.
Mhm.
There is zero sell. There is zero getting you to do something. There is literally zero nothing. Like, yeah, I'm not sending you anywhere. And the reason to that is because I might not be brand new to everybody that knows me and wants to work with me at some point, but I'm still brand new to somebody who doesn't know me. And when you're trying something different, you want to just lead with value first.
Mhm.
So my first 20 videos have no call to action. And as I start progressing through the 100 days, you're going to see that I'm going to go from soft to medium to a little bit harder to maybe in my last 10 to 15 videos is going to be like hard AF. Like I'm here to just get you on a call. But I have to do that.
The final
One,
video, he will be at your house.
I'm coming. I am there. Knock. Hello, Lefty's here. But
It's time to
yeah.
take a step forward.
Yeah. So it's just kind of like that. Like you want to like if you want to when you want to lead with value, essentially is like you're gonna start seeing people actually listen. You're gonna attract that audience, and as you keep going and going and going and going, they're going to eventually want to know more. They're going to want to give up more. I think really like what I'm saying right now is like, if you guys just want any more information, you can DM me. Like that's literally what I'm saying. That's it. Like, I don't care if you do. And I whatever, if you don't, right. You do it.
James,
Great. You don't do it. I don't care. Right.
James, we're talking about call to actions, by the way.
Yeah. And I just feel, well, the thing is, I think there's like a misconception with call to actions because I feel like it's like, oh, it's a call to action. So like, this is where I get to sell. This is where I get to do something hard. And it's like,
especially in short form content, you want to be real chill about that kind of stuff because you're on the most entertaining based part of an already entertainment based platform that's also a search engine.
yeah.
And
And
in any of those things I just said, are you looking for someone to sell you? No.
no, it's really bad when you look at a video, you're incredibly impressed from the beginning. They got you on the hook. Fantastic. Buddy is leading with mad information, and you're just like, okay, I'm in it. Let's hear more. And then all of a sudden, they're just like, all right, well, if you want to know more, you have to buy my $50,000 program, which is going to upgrade you to the $90,000 program, and you're going to get me for 90 days. But if you want the 120 days, you're going to have to pay that extra $50,000. And it's just like, you know what? All that value is worthless because I don't care about you anymore. You know,
Like as an instance, Alex Shamosi, everyone knows Alex at this
Yeah.
point. He is burst on the scene. Huge. Just came out like a rocket. He did 8 months of content before he took off. before he started getting traction, before YouTube started pushing traffic his way to check.
Of course. That
And
makes total
so,
sense.
and so he expected going into it could take some time. And they made adjustments along the way. Oh, that hit a little. Let's check out more about that. That did nothing. Scrap it. And you just keep refining until finally, like, the big topic consolidated down to the diamond is kind of his gimmick. It's kind of his thing, is that he takes broad abstract concepts and theorems for business and making money and boils them down to their basest parts and explains it in a way that anyone can understand.
Did you watch the video that he put out? I think it was a reel on Instagram. He put out a video calling himself out on his shit.
Mm-mm.
Oh my God, dude, this was the most brilliant video ever. Like, I applauded him for this. He literally was like, hey guys, I know everybody knows me at this point, and I know that everybody has heard the tagline. My name's Alex Harmozy. I own acquisition.com, and I have nothing to sell you. This whole time, that's actually been a lie because I keep talking about my 99-cent book.
Yeah.
And he literally called himself out on his shit. And he's like, I am so sorry that I've been telling you this whole time that I have nothing to sell you, when in fact, I've been selling you something. And I was like, wow, bro. Like kudos to you. Like, fuck, roll out the red carpet. Like, oh man. Because that was clutch for a guy of his status to just sit back and be like, whoa, I've been doing this the whole time, and I didn't, and he didn't even know that he was doing it. So like, that's what made it even more genuine when he put that post out. You know what I mean?
Here's the real kicker of all that to me. Oh yeah,
Or
James
maybe
said,
it was a
have
marketing
you seen
gimmick.
this 2016 FHL talk? Wow, kind of shy and not that great. Compare that to now. What a transformation. Yeah, think about that for a second. 2018, even 2019, maybe even early COVID, no one knew about this guy.
No, none. Yeah.
Maybe you stumbled across this content and got lucky early on. Maybe.
Yeah.
But it was not being fed to you by YouTube.
No.
You had to consciously seek this dude out. And now you're hard pressed to find someone that doesn't know who he is in our world of entrepreneurship, online marketing, so on, etc.
Of
That
course.
doesn't know who he is.
Yeah.
He's everywhere. But not that long ago, no one knew an Alex Hormozy
Yeah.
or Layla for that matter.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's getting paid $50,000 plus an hour to come on someone's podcast.
Insane.
So it can take a long time, and in some cases, it can go really, really fast.
But he's also not
It's
shy.
quality of content. He doubled down on his investment in his content creation. He was very open to failing for an extended amount of time while they found out what worked. I saw an interview where he talked about him and Caleb. He told Caleb said this is going to be $70,000 a year.
Yeah.
Per each of you, 140 total. And he goes, yeah, cool. And he goes, so he goes, what's your goal out of this? He goes, well, for the first year or two, it's really just consistent growth. He didn't have a number. He didn't say 1 million views. He didn't say 1 million a month. He didn't say those kinds of things because he knew this is a growing process that we're going to be figuring things out. And there will be a time when everything clicks.
Yeah.
It's literally just, if you can extend, he says this often too, if you can extend your time horizon for long enough, success is inevitable.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he applied that directly to content creation, and now look at him.
But he also dumps a lot of money into
a lot of money, $70,000.
And we're not saying that you have to do the same.
No,
right?
you can do these things yourself to start while you're
At
figuring
your own
things out.
pace, at your own budget, at all that. But let's kind of put a pin in something right now, okay? And let's use Alex for an example, because I think he's in like the 70 to 100 grand range a month of what he spends on
That's
content.
correct. That's
So
correct.
now, if Alex were to stop paying for content and like literally was like, I'm bringing the marketing budget down to zero. That's it. I'm not doing anymore. I can do videos myself. I don't care. If he did that, would he still be in the same position and stature as he is? Abso-freaking-lutely. But he's still paying 100 grand a month into content. And the one thing that I ask everybody is that, and I use the Nike example because Nike spends millions of dollars a year just to put out a shoe. But I can guarantee you, if they stopped advertising, would you still buy a Nike shoe? Absolutely, because they built that name. Now, if these people are still spending millions of dollars when they don't need to, why do you feel like your brand is not worth a $10,000 investment in marketing, or 5,000 or
I see
15,000
what
or
you're saying. Okay.
20,000, right? I
I didn't
almost
know.
feel like,
I didn't know where you were going with that initially.
yeah. So it's
No, yeah,
almost like
investing in
it's almost
yourself
like,
is in your brand is critical. It's super
yeah.
important.
So
And when you start out, my main thing I was talking about with Alex is not so much how much he was spending. That's not the point I wanted to make. What I wanted to make is that he was embracing the fact of, I'm going to fail a lot. And in that process, I'm going to discover what does work.
of course.
That's where I was kind of going. And I definitely understand what you're saying. Definitely invest in yourself, because a brand can carry you through any recession,
And
through ups and downs of the world, through competitors, getting bigger, whatever it may be. A brand is something that can literally carry your company.
you
I
know
mean,
what?
look at Harley Davidson, for instance, right?
Okay.
Harley Davidson is no longer just a motorcycle.
No.
And in fact, I did a presentation one time based around branding, and I said, I wrote Harley Davidson on the wall, and I said, what is the first thing you think about when you read this word? Only one person in 20 people said motorcycle. One in 20. The rest said freedom, community, leather. um,
Oh,
uh,
baby.
Massive beards and shades and ZZ Top and all this other kind of everything but motorcycle.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
Of course. Hell yeah.
And like, if someone else comes up with a motorcycle company tomorrow called Bob Cycles, how are they going to be able to compete? They can't.
No.
It would take a lifetime to gather the brand that Harley has.
Of course.
And so that's the power of brand. And I think that's what you're speaking to. Is that appropriate?
Yeah. I mean, like, for me, I come from the world of advertisement and like that kind of uh promotional type of content. But another thing too, like, paid ads is what kicked off my business, right?
Mm-hmm.
Paid ads is what kicked off my business. I had no money at the time. I was, honest to God, scared shitless to even spend $1, right? And I just took that leap of faith, and $900 ended up becoming almost 12 grand in 30 days, right?
Huge.
If it wasn't for me taking that leap and dumping money back into my business, in the way where it was going to generate me leads in a short amount of time in the correct way, I probably wouldn't be on Friday Night Live right now. I probably wouldn't be having the network connections that I have right now. I would have just been some crew member on like the set of whatever. You know what I mean? Like it's that it's that leap of faith that I took 2 years ago that that brought me to where I am today. It's because it opened up that connection. Now, Jim, you can disagree with me if you want, and there are a lot of people that have an insane organic game, right?
Mhm.
But these platforms, these platforms are built to suppress content. Why? They are built to suppress content because they have an obligation to the investors. And if there is no money being dumped in, then the investors are not happy. And then guess what? Facebook shuts down, Instagram shuts down, YouTube shuts down. All these things that we build our business on shut down. So you got to look at it in a sense too, where it's like you have a role to play when you decide to put money into your own campaigns. You have a role to the investors. For example, with YouTube, I have a monetized channel. It's not about me anymore. It's about who is paying for ad spend on YouTube. It's who's ever putting ads on my videos. I have a responsibility to those individuals to also get them enough eyeballs to make sure that my content is good enough so more people see the new Google Pixel phone or whatever it is that that they're putting on my videos, right? So I think they even made a study where it was like if you had 100 Facebook friends, like I think like three of them actually see your content and one of them actually care about it. So imagine the suppression that is happening, and it's happening on every single platform. And it's because they want you to spend your money. They want you to spend their money because they know what you're going to get out of it when you do it and you do it correctly. And there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that, you know, don't always have that luxury, but there are so many ways that you can make those dreams happen. Um, if I have a moment to give another example.
Yeah.
So I actually just partnered up with one of my friends' companies who essentially do private lending,
Mhm.
right? They do private lending. And it's like, imagine if you can get, let's say, all of Lefty for $200 a month, $300 a month, because someone else is covering that upfront cost for you. And now imagine you're a coach that has a $3,000 to $5,000 program.
Mhm.
You 20x your ROI in the first month, and you can pay back all your investment that you pulled in order to get the marketing to happen. And all you did was spend $200.
True.
Boom. You know, there's so many ways of getting out there and making sure that your business can stay alive. You just have to ask the right questions and make sure the right people can do the right things for you.
Yeah, well said. All right, well, we're gonna wrap it up here for today. So, in regards to short form content, my biggest recommendation to you, and I'll give Lefty a moment to give his as well, is just to get started. Is just start, get out that phone, get used to the process. If you need the help of a chat GPT, use it.
Yeah.
But do not just use it right out the box.
Hmm.
Give it some time to get that, to get the best out of it that you can. Take that iterative approach to where ask it more questions, ask it from a different angle, ask it this time I want it to be in persuasive sarcastic language or whatever, maybe something that'll stand out better for your particular personality. Make it better because your audience deserves that. And then when you put out a video and it gets a big buckus, It's not the market saying, I don't like you.
No.
They're saying this particular video, we didn't like it. And that's okay. We have to stop attaching ourselves and our self-worth to the way a market feels about our delivery of a message. It's
Yeah.
not about us. It's about what we're delivering.
Absolutely.
Being authentic is the very best thing you can do for your business. Give them that. When they say no views, no likes, whatever it may be, it's not about you as a person. It's just the market saying, we don't want to hear about this as much. And you will hit on something. There will be something that does better. Focus there. Throw away the rest. Focus there. Throw away the rest. And that refinement process eventually is going to give you growth.
Yeah.
Lefty.
To sum up slightly what you just said, it's the old traditional phrase, it's not personal, it's just business. Right?
Well said.
Like if one thing didn't work, on to the next. Just keep going and keep going. Like you're gonna fail. You're probably gonna you're gonna fail at your first video, and you very well are gonna you're very well are gonna fail at your 100th video, right? It just happens. But you gotta keep going, because you might have not found the right person yet, right? Think of it from a relationship standpoint. If you want to find what we are looking for, the one that we're going to spend the rest of our lives with, are we going to find the one with going on 2, 3 dates? Hell no. We probably have to go on 50 dates. We have to go on 100 dates. There's a potential chance that from the 100 dates, we have to maybe have like 100 one-night stands on top of that. But we won't know unless we test and go out and put ourselves out there for that one person.
You didn't mean it, Jude.
Huh?
He didn't mean it. Speaking to your wife.
No. Don't take it literal. Don't take it literal. No. It's just
All right, everybody. That's been Friday Night Live.
No. It's just an example. What I'm trying to get at is that what I'm trying to get at is that like you have to keep putting out content for that one person to finally stumble across you and say, oh my God, I love this person. They are my person. They are the one, right? But you won't know if you don't put out tons and tons and tons and tons of content until that one piece of content finally sticks. That's kind of what I'm getting at.
And even tons and tons and tons of content. I just want to give the caveat. That doesn't mean that you're just relentlessly, constantly releasing content.
No, exactly.
I'm saying start where you are. Make a video. Put it out there. Get used to that feeling. Find a cadence that you can do and deliver consistently. And then once you're comfortable with that, expand. As an example, real quick, Alex Hormozy now is trying to overload every platform. He wants to get to the point where there's no more increase in attention for input of content. He's trying to find that threshold currently. That's where he's at with his content plan. So
can we give them a challenge?
What's that?
Can we give everybody a challenge?
Absolutely.
All right. I wanna do a challenge for everybody this week with the visibility hacking crew. I want you guys to put out a short video just telling your audience who you are.
There you go.
That's it. You don't have to think about finding tips or finding points or finding hacks. Just tell the audience who you are, what you're about. Heck, even get into like why you do what you do. Make it very plain and simple. What a lot of people forget is that they go straight to the facts, but I don't even know who you are yet. So put out
and tag us on it. We'll light it up for you. We'll do our best to get as many, get some comments going.
Tag
And that
us.
goes with any of your content in general, by the way, out there. We
Hell
want to
yeah.
support you guys. We want to see you successful. We want to see you get that attention onto your mission, your message, and your movement in this ever so noisy marketplace. That's why we're here. That's why we do this every Friday night. And that's what we're passionate about.
Hundo
So
P.
that's it, man. So we're going to go ahead and close down for tonight. We appreciate you guys joining us. We know that time is precious, and we really, really appreciate that you spend it here with us. And we'll see you on the next one. Lefty.
Peace out. Those were
All
my
right.
closing remarks. Just get out there, and I want to see that challenge. I want to see
Short
what
and
everybody
sweet,
comes out
just
with.
like the content. You got to love
Show
it.
it.
See you guys.